Well, turning now to the Middle East, we've been following that for you. You know, the Israel-Gaza conflict, it's in its second week. Both sides ignoring President Biden's call for a ceasefire as protests continue in the Gaza Strip. For more on what is happening right now, live on the ground, let's turn to I-24 correspondent Sarah Coates. Sarah, thank you very much for joining us. What are you experiencing right now?
Yes, hello. Well, we are on the border about a mile from the Gaza border here. And, you know, we've been here throughout the day and have been running to shelter time after time. Now, you don't have very long here where we are. As soon as you hear these red alert sirens, you need to get there. You've got about 10 to 15 seconds before the Iron Dome defense system intercepts these rockets in the sky above. Now, we also understand that the IDF is still carrying out these airstrikes in the Gaza Strip. The IDF coming out just a little while ago to say that it has targeted a Hamas firing operation there, which was actually hidden inside a school, adding that it just goes to show that Hamas is really hiding behind these civilian sort of targets. Now, we are expecting this operation to continue throughout the night, with the IDF saying it really wants to make a huge impact on this metro, which is this underground tunnel system that Hamas uses to smuggle fighters and weapons. So it's certainly shaping up to be a pretty busy and active night militarily here.
Yeah, any closer to a ceasefire there?
Yeah, well, it doesn't really seem like we're going to achieve a ceasefire in the coming hours, but potentially in the coming days. We do know that there's just so much international pressure building, you know, getting Israel to try and agree to this ceasefire. But Israel does say that it really wants to achieve more in the Strip before that happens. We do know now that Israel is planning to target the head of Hamas's military wing. They say they tried to get him just a couple of days ago and failed, but they are saying they know where he is now, and he has an X on his back. Now, he will just be one of the 100 or so Hamas commanders that Israel says it's taken out over the last 9 days during this operation, really trying to make a huge impact on Hamas, to try and put it back years and years, to really give these residents here of the South some peace and quiet.
Sarah, can you describe for us and for our viewers where you're standing and what we're seeing behind you? Where are you and what is all of that?
Yeah, sure. So this behind me is a military base. Now, we're seeing rockets coming up just behind us here. We might hear a boom soon from the Iron Dome missile defense system. This is where the IDF is storing a lot of these weapons, these artillery shells, which they have been using to fire into the Strip to create what they say is a smoke screen, which sort of protects these soldiers from the eyes of Hamas. Now, we were down here yesterday and they were using these. Here we go. We're going to take you inside the shelter now. You can hear those sirens ringing out. All right, let's go. Let's go. Oi! All right, we're getting in. Okay, guys, we're taking you inside the shelter. Tiny little portable shelter in here. All right, I'm going to stay with you. We can't leave just yet to show you what's going on outside. But you can see just how quickly, you've got to get inside this shelter. You have just a matter of seconds when these sirens ring out to get inside here. This is one of these little portable shelters that they need all around these southern communities to keep these people safe. Even, wow, did you hear that boom? That was the Iron Dome missile defense system there intercepting one of these rockets, one of these 3,500 rockets that have been sent over from the Gaza Strip in these last 9 days of fighting. And this is the reality for the residents here in the South. And this is exactly what the IDF wants to do. It wants to hit Hamas hard. Like I said, put it back years and years. So residents here in the South do not have to deal with this day in, day out. That is the reality for these residents in the South, running to shelter like that on a weekly basis. You know, it's a really difficult reality for these people. You cannot just go about your life as normal. You saw that. That's what they deal with.
Who is your photographer? What is his or her name?
What was that, sorry?
Your photographer's name, who was actually shooting, even as you were inside the shelter. What is his or her name?
Yeah. His name's Amit, and he's very, very good, very
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 brave.
braver than me, standing out there getting that shot while I was inside the shelter.
Yeah, we wanted to thank him for his bravery of going through that. How many of these rockets get through and are not stopped by the Iron Dome?
Yeah, look, you know, the Iron Dome's really been working overtime these last 9 days. You know, it's not often that you see rockets coming into Tel Aviv, and these are these long-range rockets. And, you know, I'm sure you guys may have seen this picture. On one hand, you've got these rockets coming from the Gaza Strip, emanating from the Gaza Strip in a way like this. And on the other hand, you see these rockets, these missiles sort of whistling up like that, trying to intercept these rockets which are coming from the Gaza side. Now, the Iron Dome has a pretty good rate there, about 90 to 95% accuracy. It was actually developed here in Israel, and it sort of uses like a heat detection type thing. It's a missile that basically takes another missile out of the sky. So it's incredible technology developed here in Israel, which, you know, saves countless lives year in, year out. And, you know, the death toll on the Israeli side would be so much higher because Hamas purposely targets these civilian, these massively, you know, very dense civilian areas in a bid to cause as much death and destruction as possible. So thank goodness for the Iron Dome, because it really does save countless lives there.
Yeah. Well, thank you to you, Sarah, and to your photographer. Great work, and it's a reality that, fortunately, we cannot relate to here in the United States. More rockets? All right, we'll let you go. Sarah, thank you very much.
We are hearing some more booms just above us now.
Yeah. All right, thank you for your coverage. Appreciate it. Wow. Unimaginable.
Yeah, that's the experience. And then earlier in the show, if people didn't see, we had someone who is a mom and reporting for us. And they get, what did she say, about a minute to get into the
exactly
bomb shelter.
Exactly what we just saw there.
Yeah, she had a shorter time than that. And then Brooke Goldstein, whom we had spoken to earlier, talked about, you know, it sounded like it's very difficult to just get a normal experience of daily life.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Coming up, we'll have the latest against coronavirus, and something to keep in mind is Dr. Chauncey Crandall's book about Fight Back. He writes about how you can beat the virus, avoid infection. #1 Amazon bestseller. And we'll be back with more of the American Agenda after this.
Here we go. We're going to take you inside the shelter now. You can hear those sirens ringing out. All right, let's go. Let's go. Wait. All right, we're getting in. Okay. Guys, we're taking you inside the shelter. Tiny little portable shelter in here. All right, I'm going to stay with you. We can't leave just yet to show you what's going on.
All right, folks. This happened moments ago. We were talking to I-24 correspondent Sarah Coates, who was doing a remarkable job over there reporting for us. And can we keep watching it? Because Amir, the photographer, he was still shooting. And the rocket was met, luckily, by an anti-missile. And it worked. So, again, that Iron Dome worked. Now, sometimes they get through, and you and I were wondering, that didn't look like the most sturdy. It wasn't underground,
right?
But it offered some kind of protection.
I do wonder if maybe around that corner it actually goes underground.
Goes underground, yeah.
But just how people in this area are so used to this happening. You could tell that they were all calm, those people standing there, and, you know, along with her and her photographer. It's a reality that's happening every day, every hour. This, as it enters, what, its second week now.
Yes, and earlier in the hour we talked to a mother and reporter who has to deal with that, gets about a minute's notice, and has to get her kids in the bomb shelter in their house. That's what they're going through over there right now. Just wanted to show you that. We'll have more of American Agenda coming up after this.